Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So I've been going through my cookbooks like I always like to do, and I love this cookbook. I really do. It's got a lot of great ideas. It's 5 ingredients or less. Most are under 20 minutes to make, which is true, at least all the ones that I've been making. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a couple of recipes and bring you along with me. So we're going to be making drop baking powder biscuits. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys. Making biscuits is not one of my fortes. I am horrible at it. I've tried and tried. I just can't always seem to do it. So drop biscuits usually work best for me. My mom made amazing biscuits, and I always wanted to have her show me how to do it. And unfortunately, it just didn't happen. She passed away before she had a chance. She lived in a different part of the state than I did. And growing up, of course, I wasn't going to watch my mom make too many things. That's not something I really wanted to do. But as I got older and I started really falling in love with cooking, I meant to have her show me how to make her biscuits. And every time I would contact her and talk about when we were going to get together, I'd say, okay, I want you to show me how to make biscuits. And she'd go, oh, okay, I will, no problem. Then we'd get together, and guess what we'd forget to do? We never made the biscuits. So I never learned how from her. So I just kind of wing it. A lot of times what I will do is I'll just buy frozen ones. They're not as good as mom's, but they're still good. So we're going to do that now that I've gotten off topic and brought you down memory lane with me. And then we're going to make Swiss steak. I like Swiss steak. It's pretty good. It's a quick and easy way to prepare a meal because you can brown the meat, put it in your crock pot, add the rest of the ingredients, turn on the crock pot, and walk away. And then before long, your house is smelling wonderful. And so that's what we're going to do. So let's get going. We're going to do the biscuits first and go from there. All right, let's go. Okay, so I'm going to preheat my oven to 450. I meant to do that before I even started. Okay, and then I'm going to add 2 cups of flour. Oh my word, I feel so discombobulated for some unknown reason. Now, I've mentioned this before, but part of the reason why I measure out my flour as opposed to dipping my measuring cup into the flour is that it does make it a little more airier. You're not compacting it in there. So that's 1 cup. But you measure your flour out, and then I'm going to dump it all over the counter. But you measure your flour out however you want, whatever works for you. You know, I know some people weigh it. I don't do that. I just use a spoon, and it works just fine. Okay, there's 2. And I am going to have to clean up my mess because I made a huge one. Okay, and then we're going to add in baking powder. So it's 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And then it is a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I can't get the lid on. Oh well, I'll deal with it in a minute. All right, so we're just going to mix this up till it's all mixed. Okay, then we're going to add in a 1/2 cup of shortening, and I am actually using shortening. I'm just using Crisco. I don't always use shortening, but I've never made this recipe before, so I don't want to experiment too much. And as I was telling you before, I'm horrible at biscuits, so I don't want to deviate too much from the recipe until after I've made it before, and a couple times maybe. Okay, there's a half a cup. Okay, now it calls to use a pastry blender. I do not have one. I've never had one. I've always used just a potato masher or forks to do this. So I'm just going to use a potato masher. And you're just going to mash it until it looks like little coarse crumbs is all you're going to do. I think my mom had a pastry blender, but when I moved out, I never thought to get one, and I just figured, well, this would work. So this is what I've always done. And it works just fine. You can even use your hands if you want. I've done that before too. You just want to make for sure it's all blended up into small little crumbs. It might take a few minutes, but that's okay. You just want to also make for sure that if there's large chunks of shortening, that you kind of break those up. Okay, got that done. All right, and now we're going to add in a 1 1/4 cups of milk, 1 1/4 cups milk. And you can use whatever kind of milk you want. I'm just using whole milk. And then we're just going to mix this up. And your dough is going to be a little wet because you're dropping it. You're not doing anything else with it. So you just want to kind of mix it up. And you're going to put it on a cookie sheet, and you're going to bake them for 8 to 12 minutes, just until they're golden brown. Okay, so we got this mixed. And now I'm going to get my cookie sheet, kind of move some stuff around. See my mess? Yep. Not fun, but that's okay. Okay, so I've got my cookie sheet with, I'm using parchment paper. You can also use just a cookie sheet that's you've sprayed with some cooking oil or greased it up somehow, but parchment paper works great for me. So that's what I'm going to use. And now we're just going to drop by the spoonfuls. So I probably made these a little bigger than what you're supposed to, because you're supposed to get 14 out of them. Clearly, I'm not going to get 14. Let's see if I can move this one over. Kind of even out the dough a little bit. Okay, so my stove is still preheating. Once it's preheated, I'm going to put these in there and I'm going to cook them for 8 to 12 minutes. And I'll bring you back when they're done. Okay, so I got them out of the oven. It did take a little longer than just 12 minutes. I actually put them in for 14 minutes. But they look good. They're hot. Look, oh, real hot. You see the bottom? Super hot. I'm going to let them sit here for a moment. If you want at this point, you can put a little bit of butter on them or you can just leave them as is. It's up to you. But they look good. Can't wait to try one. So, yeah. I'm pretty proud of myself, I guess, right now because I made some biscuits. All right. I hope you try it. So tonight for dinner, we're going to have easy Swiss steak. I've never actually tried this recipe, but it sounds really good. We're going to start off cooking it, searing it in a pan on the stovetop, and then we're going to toss it into the microwave and let it finish cooking up that way. All right, so let's get going on this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start warming up some oil in the pan. I'm just using olive oil. And I have some flour on a plate. And I'm just going to season it. The recipe doesn't call for this, but I'm going to anyway. And I'm just seasoning it with salt and pepper. Just so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got that seasoned. And now I'm going to take my steak and I'm going to dip each piece into the flour mixture until it's coated a little bit. And then I'm going to put it in the skillet. And I'm also going to make up a huge mess. Now I'm getting flour all over the place. Now I thought we were going to be, I honestly, truthfully thought that I was only going to be cooking 4 pieces, but apparently I'm going to be cooking more than that. We buy our meat in bulk and then we divide it up. And I thought that we had divided it up into 2 pieces each. Come to find out that one of them had 3 pieces, but that's okay. Oh, they both had 3 pieces. Both packages. All right, I'm going to wash my hands. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to flip each piece. Like I said, you're only browning them. You're not going to cook them all the way through. Might add a little more oil. So they're pretty thin, so it's not going to take very long to brown them on both sides. Just a tad bit more oil. It seems to keep soaking up the oil. Okay, these are all browned on both sides. So now we're going to head over to the other side of the kitchen to where we're going to get them started in the crock pot. So let's go. Okay, so at this point, my microphone battery died, and I did not realize it. And so I'm adding audio to it. I've put it in the crock pot, and I'm adding the meat in the crock pot. Then I'm going to add in a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. It called for seasoned crushed tomatoes. However, I could not find any. So I'm going to be seasoning it on my own. So along though with the crushed tomatoes, I'm adding 1 package of Lipton onion soup mix. And then to that, I'm also going to add in onion powder and garlic powder. And I'm adding it to taste. You don't have to do that. It's up to you. You do whatever you want to do, but that's what I'm doing. I'm also adding in a cup of water, and then I'm going to stir it all together and mix it all up. Put the lid on, and then I will be cooking this on low for 4 to 6 hours until the meat is cooked and tender. And it really does come out very tender if you do it low and slow. All right, so that's what I've been doing, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this has been cooking for several hours, and I just want to kind of see how it's doing. It smells wonderful. I'm not sure if I remembered if I told you what I was serving with this. You can serve it with noodles, rice, or mashed potatoes. I'm going to be serving it with mashed potatoes. Oh yeah, it is cooking up nice. I think I'm actually going to turn it on to warm just to keep it warm. The steak is getting all nice and soft, and it's looking good. All right, so I'm going to turn it to warm and just let it sit here until dinner time, and then we'll eat it, and it'll be great. Did I show you what cookbook I got this out of? I don't remember. I got it out of the 5-ingredient, and you can barely see it there, so let me move my camera so you can see it a little bit better. All right, I got it out of this cookbook, 5 ingredients or less. It's a great cookbook. It's an old one. I don't remember when I got it, but it's a good cookbook. So, but that's where I got it from. I have several other recipes that I'm going to be doing out of this one as well, but this one is tonight's dinner. All right, so I'll bring you back in a little bit. So I just want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey, making drop biscuits and Swiss steak. Both were delicious. I served the Swiss steak with mashed potatoes, but you can also serve Swiss steak with rice or noodles, whatever you want to serve it with. It's up to you. But that's what I served it with, was mashed potatoes, and the biscuits just with butter, normal stuff. So, like I said, though, I really like this cookbook. It's great. It's an older cookbook. In fact, I don't even remember when I got it. That's how old it is. So, but give these recipes a try. See if maybe your family would like them. They're super simple, under 20 minutes for both. You could do them both at the same time. I didn't. I kind of mixed them up a little bit because of my schedule for the day, but that's okay. A recipe's just a guide. Make it your own, and your time is your time, and you need to decide when you're going to get things done. But once again, give these recipes a try. See if it's something you like, and if your family would enjoy it. So each recipe you can double, or you can cut back, whichever way you want to do it. It's completely up to you, depending on your family size and how many mouths you have to feed. All right. So once again, I want to thank you for coming along with me. I hope that you're having an amazing day and everything's going really good for you. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.